Nigeria's politics. Well, let's begin tonight with some of the news. Before we get into our major topic of today, I think we can say that the race for 2019 has officially begun. We'll get there very soon. Stay with us, everyone. Let's kick off with some other political stories. There are those who have enriched themselves with ill-gotten wealth, especially, and there are those who praise those who have stolen money. Professor of Law, Akin Oyebode, is worried about this trend and is warning. He said Nigeria is doomed if the current corruption trend prevails.
These people who are corrupt, they know they have ways of disguising, and keeping their ill-gotten wealth, because they don't want people to know that their wealth came from proceeds of larceny, of filthy corruption. Corrupt people in Nigeria should be tried and, if convicted, put in jail and the keys thrown away.
And here is an update on Senator Dino Melaye's recall case. INEC and the senator have been in some kind of a rat race. If they are not running to the assembly, that is the National Assembly, they are running to the court. Today, High Court in Abuja told the parties to proceed to the appeal court. A court had ordered INEC to produce a new timetable and provide Senator Melaye with the details of all the signatories to the petitions. But that is probably not as easy as it sounds. Tracking the senator to serve him has proven to be INEC's toughest task in recent time. When senators resumed on Tuesday, officials of INEC stormed the National Assembly alongside with the bailiff of the court to formally notify him of his recall petition and hand him the necessary documents. They failed in that attempt, so until this application is determined, INEC may not be able to proceed with the matter. And now to our main story of the day. Governor Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti State has officially declared his interest to take Nigeria's #1 job come 2019. The governor said he will beat the president provided, the President Muhammadu Buhari of the APC, provided the election is free and fair. He made the announcement earlier today on live television. Well, Channels Television had him live, so it can be more public than that. Watch this.
They said a zone to the north. What if nobody comes from the north? Will our party not have a candidate? Today, I challenge them. If truly they deserve this zoning, they should come out.
There are twists to the story. From words coming from Governor Fayose's party, that is the PDP, People's Democratic Party, it appears the governor is on his own. The National Publicity Secretary of the party says every member of the party must respect the party's decision, in this case, the zoning arrangement.
The truth of the matter is that the position of president has been sown to the north at a national convention. National Convention is the supreme organ of the party, the highest organ of the party. According to the Supreme Court judgment, the decisions of National Convention are immutable, they are final, they are binding, they are sacrosanct. We don't expect any member, no matter how early placed, to violate the decisions of the National Convention.
Mr. Ade is not the only one criticizing the governor's move. Senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Femi Falana, has strong opinions against Governor Fayose's presidential ambition. Watch.
A political party has just told an aspirant, you cannot be our presidential candidate. So the party is aware that once he completes his term next year, the EFCC is already waiting for him. So there is no way you can make him a presidential candidate. But the guy needs immunity for life. And that's the whole idea.
But while the governor was declaring his intention to run for the office of the president, the EFCC was also working. They arrested 2 of his cabinet members, Tony Ojo, his commissioner of finance, and Yemisi Owolabi, the state accountant general. Well, let's get into the conversation now. Everyone get seated right now as I have the presidential aspirant, well, perhaps the only man who is standing to run for that office, as far as we know, across every political party. So he's still a governor, and he's also a presidential aspirant. Governor Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti State is in our Abuja studio. He joins us on the program tonight. Many thanks, Governor Fayose, for coming to on the program tonight. Let me begin by asking you, straight from the latest story that we're following, the arrest of your Commissioner for Finance and the Accountant General. The EFCC said that they are being invited, but they have ignored the EFCC's invitation. Now, the EFCC is probing your utilization of the bailout funds. What have you done with the bailout funds?
Shehu, can you hear me?
Absolutely. Governor, go ahead, please.
Shehu, can you hear me?
Absolutely, you can go ahead.
Well, let me thank you for the introduction. And I want to tell you that this is a very good opportunity to reply my critics. I want to take them one after the other before I go straight to your question. Don't forget the man that spoke for the party was the man that I did not support for the gubernatorial election of Ekiti because I picked my deputy. So that is coming from a corrupt mind and a selfish individual. So, may I say expressly as well, like I said, the first person that spoke, and on Barrister Femi Falana, it's better to ignore him. It's now that we realize now he's a member of the EFCC. He's an official of the EFCC speaking for them. He's equally from Ekiti, because they all desire a professor to be there. He contested against me in 2003. He lost. He's been an hardened enemy. So I leave him to his stories. Let me say again that those who will wait for me will wait in vain. I need to remind them again that he and others conspired against me in 2006. To God be the glory, I am seated here as governor of Ekiti State. You are talking about immunity. May I say to you expressly that there are other governors without immunity, but did not say anything because probably they have nothing to say. I have something to say in Nigeria. I speak for the common people, and I will continue to speak for them. I don't care whatever you have against me, wait for your time. And don't be in a hurry and don't run your mouth. Allow time to take its course. For 8 years, I was in EFCC. You charged me to court. I defeated you. The Lord gave me victory over you. And whatever you are putting together, the Lord will give me victory over you. I can't be bothered about that. But let me come quickly to your question. About the bailout funds. Before I go that, I want to say expressly there is a court order against the EFCC that says no official of Ekiti State must be invited by EFCC. This matter, FCC wrote a petition against the court, that the judge that granted that order. They wrote that the file be transferred to the CJ who should send it to Akure. It was sent to Akure. It was thrown out in Akure. The EFCC, they are busy acting against the rule of law. For us to fight corruption, allegation is not enough. Stories, not enough. To fight corruption, you must allow for due process. You must allow that. You must respect the rule of law. You must respect court judgments. Arresting my Accountant General and Commissioner for Finance at fact today is shameful. Why did he coincide with my declaration? You are intolerant of opposition. You are so intolerant of opposition. I cannot be perturbed by that. You should appreciate there are states, even my predecessor has been alleged, documents filed into AFCC, nobody has called him for 1 day. I can't be bothered by your strategies. I can't be bothered by your conspiracy. It is a matter of time. And may I say to you expressly that if your strategy, like you just said, that anybody that is fingered in corruption, fingering anybody in corruption does not make that person corrupt. The fact that if that is your strategy against 2019, you will equally fail. Because anybody charged to court is assumed innocent until the court says otherwise. Don't come and tell us stories. You know what the issues are. You know what your problems are.
Governor Fayose, because of our time, quickly, we have a lot of issues to discuss. If you go straight to the issue of the bailout fund, what exactly did you use the bailout funds to? Because the investigation we've made is that local government officials are owed 8 months' salaries. State officials or state workers are owed 5 months' salaries. Some of them say they've last been paid in April this year.
May I say this to you expressly, sir, that your story is incorrect. The bailout fund, it got the list. It got a bailout of 4.7 billion. The state wage bill is 2.6. The local government is 2.4, which automatically amounts that the bailout, even if it's used strictly and only for salaries, cannot pay salaries of both state and local government for 1 month. May I say to you again very carefully, I don't appropriate money in Ekiti. I give the receipt of our allocation to the labor leaders. I have a standing committee of the labor leaders. They share money in Ekiti. I gave that right to them. So if you are chasing the shadow, they are only chasing shadow.
So how many months' salaries are you owing, Governor Fayose? How many months' salary are you owing, Governor Fayose?
Can you wait 1 second? The labor leaders came out. The labor leaders came out and said to them, our governor did not divert the bailout funds. Our governor gave us the bailout funds to appropriate. So come in on the television because you are going to arrest people because I declare today you are wasting your time. We are owing 4 months in Ekiti. And may I say to you very expressly, the last administration left Ekiti in very bad debt, and they are deducting 1.2 billion from our allocation, and this will remain until the year 2036. The last administration took a loan, a bond of 25 billion, and they took commercial loans of about 38 billion. And the CBN, the CBN restructured that money and is expected to last until year 2036. When the foundations are 40, what will the righteous do? And I want to say to you expressly, I don't have issues with my workers. We're on the same page, and it's not enough to come to the television and be blabbing.
Okay. Governor Fayose, let's quickly go to your ambition. Just in about 30 seconds before we go on this break. You came out today and you are running against your party wishes. How do you hope to sail through without your party's support? None of the leaders of the National Working Committee was there.
May I say to you, they are not expected to be there. May I say to you, they are not expected to be there. They're supposed to be the umpires. They're not supposed to be there. They are supposed to watch everybody play the game because they will be the final habitat. So let me say to you very expressly, it is not the National Working Committee that will determine. It is the people of Nigeria. May I say to you again very, very clearly, Shehu, let me say to you, some of the people in the Working Committee have ambition. They must be threatened by what I have done today. And I'll say to you again, if anybody has ambition in the north, let him come straight and tell us. In another 1 year, the whole country will be doing, parties will be doing primaries. Let them come out. This party must not die. If anybody is afraid, I am not. I am not. There are two legs to life. Some are afraid of incarceration, some are afraid of death. I'm not afraid of any. If you want to be president of Nigeria, in America, when they want to campaign, they campaign for upward period of 2 years. They sell themselves. You want to tell us to have a president that will come out 3 months to the elections?
All right.
And come and tell us you want to be president of Nigeria?
Fayose, just a moment. We'll take a breather and we will go on a break. But when we return, Governor Fayose will be talking to us about how he hopes to achieve all of these ambitions against his party wishes and, in fact, against a hurdle in his party and outside of his party. Join us again, everyone.
They said they zone to the north. What if nobody comes from the north? Will our party not have a candidate? Today, I challenge them. If truly they deserve this zoning, they should come out. Those of them in the party, current party ESCO, working committee, who is afraid of us, who wants to contest as president, come out. You can't use the party machinery against our members.
Yes.
I want to challenge all of them to a contest, to the field. What are they afraid of? Most of you are governors at different times. Most of you are leaders of note. Fear will only kill the person carrying it. You want to be president of Nigeria. You want us to work for you, you come and chop it? No way. No way. We are working for this party. We speak up for this party. If we had been quiet, this party would have been dead by now. Tell them, those of you from northern Nigeria, if they are men, we should stand up to the men. We don't want boys as governor anymore. We want men. We don't want people who have who don't have courage. We don't want packaged leaders. We don't want to package anybody to the presidency again. Everything I said about Nigeria came to pass one after the other. One after the other. I'm prepared for an election in Ekiti. I have my deputy governor anointed. I'm going to stay with him. When somebody has done well, the young man has not offended me, he has not done any wrong, why would you say your deputy cannot be president, cannot be governor after you, if your hands are clean?
The truth of the matter is that the position of president has been sown to the north at a national convention. National convention is the supreme organ of the party, the highest organ of the party. According to the Supreme Court judgment, the decisions of national convention are immutable, they are final, they are binding, they are sacrosanct. We don't expect any member, no matter how early placed, to violate the decisions of the national convention.
Welcome back, everyone. Governor Ayodele Fayose was perhaps bold enough to go against the wishes of his party today to declare his ambition to run for president when the party has agreed that that slot will go to the northern region of the country. He's with us here in the studio, in our Abuja studio, and clearing some of these issues one after the other. Let's come back to your ambition right now. The question is, do you stand a chance at all?
I can't hear you, Shehu.
Okay, let me quick. It's a very straight question. Do you stand a chance?
Shehu, I can't hear you, but I have an idea of what you are talking about. So let me talk to you very clearly. In Ekiti, they said the zoning was to go to the south when I wanted to contest again. There were 22 aspirants from the south. They formed a consensus and said anybody apart from Fayose is the one they want, they should pick somebody from the 22. I defeated consensus. I sent consensus packing. I told them, put yourself together, get one of you to face me. You cannot put competence over and above, zoning. When you have somebody who is ready for the job, who is prepared for the job, who has what it takes for the job, do you take it to somebody who's not prepared? The problem with Nigeria is that most leaders who have chosen in this country were not prepared for the job. I don't want to be a president that will select, that will choose my ministers 10 months after being in office. I want to hit the ground running. I am the first Nigerian to defeat 2 incumbents. And I want to say to you expressly, Shehu, I have penchant for taking out incumbents. The Lord is with me, and I'm saying it to you. I'm going ahead with this ambition. Remember the President of America. Most people stood against him. Members of his party said, no, he cannot be president. He's the President of America today. You will be hit by surprises.
Okay, let me quickly ask you. You said some things in your explanation when you're making your declaration earlier today, and you made examples of the likes of the former governors, like the former governor of Cross River State, those who showed intention of running against the party's zoning arrangement at that time. But some of these people, politically, it was being said that they were not really interested in being president at that time. What makes your own case different?
Don't let us flog this. If I'm not an issue to them, They should ignore me. If you know somebody cannot unstage the system, you should ignore the person. They should ignore me. They shouldn't bother about me. Nobody should be talking about me. And I'm telling you, when Mahazu was there and he was messing up, I stood up and said, Mahazu, you have to go. When I made a mistake about Sheriff, I came out and told you I made a mistake and the Sheriff must go. My brother, I'm not somebody you cow cheaply. I'm not somebody when you say things, I will not have my own opinion. I have my opinion. And my opinion is that I want to run, I want to be president of Nigeria. Some wants to be billionaire, I want to be president of Nigeria.
Okay, if that's your intention, let me quickly ask you. You've been a governor twice. This is your second time being a governor. And you know just how the politics of Nigeria is. Let me give you some information about the fact that you want to be president of Nigeria. You need to have the numbers and the statistics at your right hand so that you can run with it. What in your head right now thinks that you have all of those statistics and all of those permutations right now?
Election to the office of the president is still almost 16 months away. Don't be in a hurry. Calm your nerves. When you want me to speak about Nigeria, when the time comes, I will speak about Nigeria. I am the longest serving Nigerian governor. I know more than you know. I have the experience more than you can imagine. I served under President Obasanjo. I served under Jonathan. And I served I'm now serving under President Buhari. I'm not that kind of a person you think will come out and say what he doesn't know nothing about. I am presenting my case. As soon as I get the ticket of this party, I will tell Nigerians what has gone wrong and what I'm going to do right.
Let me quickly ask you, now that we have the opportunity to ask you, that what exactly is the reason why you want to be president? Is it just because you just feel like wanting to be president?
If it's about wanting to be something, others go to the Senate. Others go to the Senate. I have a state where all the senators are PDP, House of Reps PDP, the House of Assembly 26 PDP, 26 out of 26, Chairman PDP. I'm sitting on a solid state. Most governors go to the Senate. I say I'm not going to the Senate. I want to be president.
Why? Why do you want to be president, Governor Fauci? Why? What's your major reason of wanting to be president, Governor Fauci?
Sorry?
What is your major reason of wanting to be president? Why? Nigerians want to know.
Because I want to make a difference. Let me explain to you, Shehu. There are reasons why I have to be. I am accessible. I am a governor to the grassroots today. I have the innate capacity to love people. And I am one governor, if you call me, I will pick your call. My number is on all social media. And on the social media, my number is with virtually everybody in my state. They call me anytime. You send me text, I reply you. Let me give you an instance. Recently, last year, it was released that Ekiti came first in NECO. I met NECO results. Ekiti was number 35 when I came into office. Fountain of knowledge. Ekiti, our identity is fountain of knowledge. Today, I moved from 2014 to 2015, we came number 11. And in 2016, we came first. And sustaining it, we came first again in 2017. And I've challenged WAEC to release their results. You'll find out that I am making a difference in my state. I'm not just talking. Ekiti earns the least in Nigeria. Managing such a small economy with the challenges surrounding it financially, you will be able to appreciate if given opportunity. All
right. Quickly, because of our time, I still have about 2 questions before we close the program. The first one being that at this time in our history as a people, what if you lose the primaries in your party? Will you seek to be present on other platforms?
No, Shewa, I will not. And let me say this very clearly. I send it in the letter of invitation that my ambition and the party's position, without prejudice to the party's position, Shehu is too quiet in the PDP. Shehu, it's a year to the election. Do we want to sleep forever and wait for when somebody will say, I am ready? Shehu, that's not going to work. Okay, let us say for reasons best known to anybody, nobody comes from the north. It's not impossible. Will this party not go to an election with a candidate? I am ready for this job.
All right.
I'm fully prepared.
All right. Before we close, let me ask you this. You have come forward and you boasted about imposing your deputy against the wishes of some of the members and leaders of your party. Is that the kind of political leadership that Nigeria should be looking forward to when you become a president?
Sheung, I did not impose my deputy, and I will never impose my deputy. Let me start by saying this. Even if it's only one person, you are still going to vote. There's still going to be a due process. When Obama was to leave, he anointed Mrs. Clinton, Hillary Clinton. I want to say again, when Obasanjo was to leave, he anointed Yaradua. You can choose who to work with. It's not a crime, and they want to succeed. And that does not stop anybody from contesting. My deputy has not done anything wrong. He's been very loyal. He has not done anything wrong. In Nigeria, when they do us wrong, we shout. But when they do us good, we don't talk about it. This young man deserves this seat. He's worked with me for 4 years. I am going to stand by him. He's a very loyal gentleman. And I don't want an old man to succeed me. That is the truth. Anybody older than me, I don't pray for you.
Governor Fayose, I'm afraid we're out of time. Always a pleasure having you talk about politics right here on this platform. Many thanks for talking to you, Governor Ayodele Fayose, on the day that you've declared you had interest to become president. Interestingly, the same venue you used today was the same venue where your party said it has zoned the candidacy to the north. I wish you the very best in the coming days. And that's our show for tonight. Many thanks for being part of it, everyone. I'm Sean Akimbaloye. Bye for now.